welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit different. I'm kind of going into different videos. I love doing my basics, fashion, makeup, lifestyle vlogs, but sometimes I think these videos can be useful to some of you. So as you can read from the title, today's video is going to be just college tips, so like tips for studying, how to study, how to organize studying, how to organize your day. Obviously these tips are not just for people that are in college, but they're for people that are obviously in high school as well. I used to use this tips when I was in high school, secondary school, and when I was in college, so they can work for both things. Probably a lot of you don't know, but I'm not in college anymore. I did graduate. Just some background info: I went to UCD in Dublin. I did economics for 3 years, and yes, I did graduate 2 years ago. So I was just seeing a lot of people that were talking about college tips online and on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, this could be a very good video, because I was like, a lot of people were making this, and I was like, you know what, I went to college, I know these tips work, I know this is what worked for me, this is what made me graduate, never fail one exam. And if you still didn't subscribe to my channel, please do hit the notification bell, because that would mean a lot to me. So let's just jump into the video. On my little notebook, I just wrote all the bullet points I was gonna say. Obviously grades don't define you. I know a lot of people that didn't get the maximum in grades, and they were so smart, or they were just so good in the course that they were doing. A lot of people don't really care about exams. It doesn't mean that you get all C's, you're never gonna get your dream job. I know people that are very bad in college, or just didn't really care about studying, and they have a great job. So obviously what you get grades and that kind of stuff, that doesn't really define who you are. So obviously every course is different. In my course, because I did econ, it was a very nice course, very hard course, very competitive. Only a few people got in, so obviously I was very happy. In my course there was a lot of maths, obviously a lot of essays, all that kind of stuff, but obviously doing economics, a lot of maths. Tip number 1: so give yourself time to study. I mean, this is what worked for me. I know a lot of people did different things, they had different plans, but this is what I did, and it did work for me. I know everyone is different. A lot of people had different plans than I did. So if you have an exam, obviously you can't start the night before, or if you have an essay or an assignment, whatever, you need time. So start well before. I always used to start basically when my term started. I always used to do my readings, my assignment, and then for exams I always used to start a few months before. And even though sometimes I was like, yeah, it's very early, I knew that then when the exam would come, I would know everything, and I only had to read my notes, or just kind of go through them, because I already knew everything. Because if I was starting a week before, then I would have struggled, because I didn't only have one exam, I used to have a lot of exams. So I always used to start in advance, always step by step, do little things, and then obviously a few weeks before then my exams, go really deep and do everything. I was never that girl that used to do her assignments last week. If I knew I had an assignment in 3 months, I used to start. Obviously I didn't do it in one day, because I knew I still had 3 months ahead, but I used to start, and that made me feel very relaxed, because in my head I was always I start my assignment, that's a good step, and then I have a lot of time to continue. If I did start it 2 days before, I would have felt under pressure, because I never did that, because then I would have felt oh my god, I need to finish it now. In yourself time, we're gonna go in another little headline. So plan your day. That is the key. Sometimes I look back, I used to be in college, and I'm now I'm because obviously I do work, but it's my family business, and obviously life is more, obviously not chilled. I have a lot of more things to do now than I was in college. In college I could have relaxed more, but obviously now I plan my day, but it's a bit different. But when I was in college, I used to be so strict. I used to plan my day every day, even write it in my notebook. So I knew what time I had to, for example, I'll just give you an example. I knew that I had to wake up every morning around 7:30, 8 when I had exams, even before, because I had to plan my day ahead. Breakfast, I used to calculate my day, like, you know, get ready at this time, breakfast at this time, after breakfast go to the library. I used to stay in the library all morning, maybe have one break in the morning, like 10 minutes for like a coffee, go to lunch, go back to the library all afternoon, go to the gym. I used to go to the gym nearly every day. Like sometimes I look back and I'm like, I used to be so active then, because now I'm always so busy and I'm starting to exercise now, but like I'm so bad. But at the time I used to go to the gym every day, and it used to be different because when I was studying all day, I needed to do something that used to like clear my head. So the only thing obviously was the gym. So I used to go to the gym nearly every day. If I wasn't going to like gym, I used to go to like have a swim or like a run, something. After whatever like my little pause was or whatever, I used to go back to the library, stay there, go home like around dinner time, shower, dinner, obviously make dinner, cook food, because that used to clear my head again, and study again, and then go to bed around 11:30, 12. So I always used to organize my day. Like I used to know, like, I'm going to the gym today, I'm going to, I don't know, take a swim, okay, I'm gonna pack my bag, I'm gonna have this for lunch, buy all my groceries. In third year I used to order a lot of deliveries because I was always studying, but like cooking made me feel good as well, because that used to like, you know, relax me. So I always add like some times. So for example, I never used to study after 12 o'clock at night, only like in some cases. But I don't know, I don't understand when people be like, yeah, I'll study all night, and then you wake up so late and your day just doesn't start. For me, I knew that 12, sometimes I used to study a lot as well, like 2 o'clock in the morning. It depends what I had to do, but because I used to start my day so early, I used to do everything during the day, and then I knew I needed to sleep in order to wake up early the next day and be very active. So I was always like, listen, maximum hour I can study, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes, you know, 2, 3, it depends if I had something else, like when I was writing my thesis, something like that. But then I need to go to bed, sit in bed and sleep, because I know tomorrow is going to be such a long day. I'm going to go to the library very early, I'm going to go to the gym, I have to do so many things, and it's just no point staying up until 4 o'clock studying, because then tomorrow I'm going to wake up so late. So I always add like a timetable, like always. And I know a lot of people can be like, boring, like how can you set your day like this? But listen, I knew a lot of people that didn't have a timetable, and just like, you know, it didn't work out. Like when you want to graduate, you want to do very well in your course, you need to set your day. Like, because if you're just like, oh, I'll see tomorrow whenever I wake up, I don't know, you're not going to be like motivated. Like I was motivated because I knew each time what I had to do. I know a lot of people, that's not even me, because in real life I'm not that organized, but with study I am. Like I'm very strict to meet the same people in the library, same people in the gym. Like obviously everyone had their timetables. That's what I had to study. Obviously when I had classes, I had my other timetable. I used to wake up, you know, breakfast, go to my classes, library, like everything was always organized. When I had exams, when I had classes. Second tip, kind of. So write down your notes. You can either hand write them or obviously use your laptop. When I used to go to class, a lot of people used to bring their MacBook. I have a MacBook. I bought a MacBook for college. Absolutely love it. So good for essay studying. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, I always like hand write my notes. Like in 3 years of college, I never write notes on my laptop. I know a lot of people might think that's crazy because everyone uses laptops today, but that just didn't work out for me. Like obviously studying essays, I used to bring my laptop with me every day, because I used to bring it to the library. That's where like all my slides were, or all my classes, my emails. If I had to write an essay or whatever I needed, like on the internet, obviously I needed my laptop. But whenever I used to write my notes, like whenever I used to go to class, I used to write my notes on my notebook. I had a notebook for like each class, so each exam I had to do, I had like a different notebook obviously, and I used to do all my exercises, everything on my notebook. Everything was divided, especially because apart from like my notebooks for each classes, I had notebooks for like I don't know, like things I would like. I had a notebook for each class, and then for that each class I would have like a notebook for like each exam. So every notebook for my exams, that's where I would prepare my exams, write down all the material for my exams. And yes, so obviously because I had a lot of notebooks, and they would be so big, like a lot of stuff, I had to divide them all into each section, because then every time, I don't know, I was looking for a specific topic, a specific maths question, I would just open my notebook and I know where that would be. I'm going to put an example on the side. I don't know how to explain those little things. I don't know, for example, I had a maths exam. Apart from like all my notes from that class, I would have a notebook for the exam itself. So I knew I would write all my notes for the exams, all the possible questions that could come up. I would do all the past questions from previous years. So in UCD, you had the possibility, not for all classes, just some of them, but you could check out some exams from previous years. So for example, I would do the exams from previous years, just like do all of them, write them in this notebook, and then the day of the exam I would bring this notebook with me and I would just read that before, because I know a lot of people like don't do that and they just bring their notes, their books, and then it takes them ages to like, you know, prepare or like read whatever they need. So another tip, rewrite notes a few times. What I used to do, like, and I used to be crazy, I used to have slides on my computer, used to write them on my notebook, like all the slides, because then I would just learn them in my head. Write all notes from my professor, do like exercises, rewrite the notes. So like sometimes I would just do some exam papers from previous years and do them like at least 10 times. Like I had some notebooks that were like all the same, and people might think, oh my god, you're crazy, but like that helped me because I knew like I did it 10 times, I was just gonna learn, because a lot of people just open the book and they try to learn for an exam. Like 99% of the stuff in my books wasn't even in my exams, it was just different stuff. So first thing I did, find out what it's going to be in my exam. Like, is it going to be stuff from the lectures? Is it going to be stuff from the book, from the notes? What stuff from the notes is going to be my exam? Everything, a part of it. So then when I did find out all the topics that were in my exams, practice them, do exams questions, notes, exercises. And then obviously, because I used to like start my exams like very early, like, you know, a few months earlier. If I was done doing all that stuff, I would do it again. Okay, I did exams questions, what I'm done, what I'm gonna do now, do them again and again and again until like everything was in my head. Like, and obviously by doing those questions, it doesn't mean that you have to learn it only by heart, but like understand what you're doing. If you do an exercise and you don't really know how you did it, do it again and again. I can't show you my notebooks, I'm gonna show you other stuff, but basically a few months ago we threw out all my college stuff because like I'm that type of person that I keep everything. Apart from my books, I threw out everything. I didn't throw out my books because they were so expensive, they're like €100 each. And then I had this notebook which was like perfection study goals. I swear to god, like I was thinking about that today, and then we threw it out and I was like, oh, I might need it, and my boyfriend was like, no, it's just so much stuff, we don't need this stuff. And then I'm making this video. So then obviously in your notes, highlight stuff. So for example, I'm gonna insert a clip. I have a book here, this was like my maths book. So you're just reading the book. Obviously with me, this is my, I still have this, my pencil case from college. I used to have like pens, lip balm, pencils, red pens. So obviously I always used to use like a black or a blue pen, red pen if I had to write a question or I had to do something more important, highlighters, pencil if I used to do maths exercise, always in pencil because if I needed to rub them out. Obviously before, in my notebook, I used to have my book, so like for each course I had a book, and then I used to go in and like, you know, underline things. And obviously I used to read everything, but by underline things I mean that like things that I did need, like, you know, from that page, what do I really need, like, you know, what do I really need to write down. And then after I highlighted each section that I needed, I used to rewrite them either in my notebook or on those little pieces of paper that I was telling you, like those yellow ones, just write them. So apart from my notebooks as well, I used to have these little like notepads. They were very small. I'm gonna try to put a picture if I find them, but very small. And in these notepads I used to like either, so if I had like a written exam, either like question, answer, and every page there was like a question and an answer, and I would just read them over. Or if it was like a maths exam, I don't know, like maths question and then whatever the answer was, obviously in like numbers, every page. So obviously for every book I had, or even in my notebooks, I used to underline whatever I did really need. And obviously buy good stationery as well. Like you do need notebooks, pens, highlighters, like you know, you need to be organized in that kind of sense. So then at the end of the day, like when I needed to study for my exam, I didn't use books or 300 things. Books were for like the start of the term. At the end, when I used to go to the library first week, I don't know, before my exam, I only used to study slides, computer, whatever. My notebook that I like literally made for that exam, took me months to make it, and my little notebook. Only those two things I would bring with me because I knew everything was in there. And even my boyfriend did that. We had this thing that we both did that. We didn't know, like, then when we met, like, he was even better than me. If you've seen his notebooks for his exams, they would be so organized. Like, it was just perfection. Like, obviously when you're writing your notes, bullet point system, I mean, that's pretty simple. I always used to write bullet points. Like if I don't know, like sometimes I knew that, for example, on an exam there was a specific essay coming, so obviously first thing I would do, practice the essay. What would be the essay I would write? After that, bullet points. Okay, for example, this specific essay is coming up, what points do I need? So I would just point out all the bullet points. I need to write this in this essay, this part in this essay, this thing, and I would just all bullet points, you know. These are the specific points I need to mention in this essay. So obviously, as I mentioned before, color coding, so black or blue pen, red pen if you're writing something like a question, highlighters to highlight everything, little piece of paper to stick on the side, color coding. What else did I have? Anything that will stand out. So for example, I had even different like markers. So like, I don't know, a green marker meant this specific topic, a yellow marker meant this specific topic, and I knew that each color had a little like topic by himself. I know a lot of people do that. That's if you want to be very extra organized, and that relates to the topic that I was mentioning earlier. Like if you just use one pen and like you're gonna take time to find things. I knew that that color meant, I don't know, this topic. So as I mentioned earlier as well, put the side notes at those little pieces of paper. They were kind of like this one. This is like a all scribbled one out of my, and you could stick them like on the side. So in my notebook or like my exam book, every page had one of these attached to the side, and I don't know, it could say anything. Remember this point, or go to page 6 because you need that point, or there was a specific thing written on this, like something really important I need to remember about that topic, or anything like check this book for this, or like if I was writing something in my notebook, I don't know, check this website, www for this answer, or check that video, because sometimes I would check a website or I would read a book in the library and I would be, okay, that's very useful, you know, but then maybe in a few months I was like, oh, I didn't read that somewhere. What website? Because I would like search for website or books, like 50 of them every day. Like I couldn't remember all those websites. So another point, obviously I used to do this in first year, not in the final years because it was so different, but YouTube videos. I remember when I started college in first year, obviously classes were good, like, you know, okay, but like everything was new for me. So maybe sometimes, and at the time I still didn't meet my boyfriend. After it was easier because when I met my boyfriend, obviously you're not going to know that, but he did econ as well and he did a master in economics as well. So a lot of times when we met when I was in second year, so well before I was entering second year, but a lot of times if I had a problem, he would help me with everything, especially with maths. He was so good. So sometimes I would be like, oh, I'm struggling on this exercise, or I don't know, I didn't understand this. Obviously I was at first year, so like I was still learning how to study. One thing I did, obviously technology, would go on YouTube. The amount of videos of like people explaining, and so simple, like the way they explain, like you can search anything on YouTube. Like for example, me, it was like a lot of maths. Search on Google, there's so many forums of like students, like I need, because especially with economics, like, you know, maths, it's the same in everywhere, like, you know, you can be in any part of the world, speak any language, but maths is that, you know, like it doesn't change. So there was a lot of students like from America or whatever, oh, I need how to do this exercise in maths for this economics class, and I was like doing the same exercise, you know, like they would just explain it or share their answers or methods, as well as like time management. Obviously I have a bullet journal or like Google Calendar. So two things I had, apart from like my 300 notebooks, I would have a big timetable in my room every month, particular things I had to do. I don't know, for example, 12th of January, I know that I need to hand in this assignment. Next month, I need to do this exam. Then I used to have like a notebook, journal, so I used to write everything. For example, whatever I had to do each day. So I don't know, today it's Tuesday, I need to study for this, do this assignment, do this exercise, and then I would just tick them because like, you know, I had so much stuff to do. Like I just write things. I used to write everything in that bullet journal. It could be anything, you know. I used to have Google Calendar. This girl that did my mentor in first year, she told me about it. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. So basically it's Google Calendar. It's very simple. It's basically like a bullet journal. You can just write things. So like there's a little calendar and you can just write everything you need. So I need to do this on this day. And apart from that, it was so good because you could connect Google Calendar to the UCD website and all your timetable would basically go on the Google Calendar thing. And basically, like, I had so many lectures every day, so I didn't know what lecture I had at 9, what lecture I had at 10. I would just open this app and it would tell me 9 o'clock you have maths in this building, in this classroom. It would tell you everything. Because at the start I was like, oh my god, like imagine if I have to go on the UCD website every day, check classes. It's gonna take me ages. I had everything on that app. Yeah, so UCD was massive, so it would just tell you everything, and that was so useful. So let's go ahead. I'm speaking a lot. So how to relax yourself while studying. I know a lot of people might be against this, but that worked completely fine with me, and I'm a very strict person with studying. Study music. When I used to study, like, okay, in the morning, obviously 7 o'clock in the morning, I didn't put music in my headphones because, you know. But after like 15 hours studying all day, I needed to relax a bit, like while I was studying. So 2 options, either study music. So it depends your taste. There's a lot of playlists on Spotify, just like about like music for like studying, so it can be like relaxing music, piano, just like music that like helps you. I used to listen any music, like literally anything. And I remember at the time a lot of people used to ask me like, how can you study and listen to music, like how do you learn? I don't know. Like another thing I used to do, and my boyfriend did it a lot, I used to put, like when I was studying home, like nighttime, I would watch Netflix. So obviously don't watch something new that like gets your attention, watch something old. For example, for me, I watched Gossip Girl like 25 times. I knew it by heart. I would put that on the background. Like I didn't have to pay attention to it because I already knew Gossip Girl by heart. But I would put it on the side studying, and that would kind of relax me because it wasn't just me, myself studying. So that helped me a lot. So either Netflix or some music that just relaxes you. And obviously you have to keep your health up as well. Food, snacks, water. I used to bring a big bottle of water with me every day. Have breaks. Good breakfast because I know I was going to be outside all day. Snacks, so it can be anything, a coffee, a little bar, fruit, a nice lunch. Nighttime, either I used to order delivery, always sushi, I was a big fan, or cook. I have to be healthy, especially me. I used to go to the gym every day. I needed like healthy food. I couldn't just like, because a lot of people be like, yeah, when I have exams I don't eat. You need energy, like what are you gonna do? Especially because cooking food is just gonna like help you relax your head, like, you know, have a little break from studying. And that's part of your routine as well, because if every week you're just like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna eat, that helped me a lot. Okay, today is Monday, what am I gonna buy for the rest of the week? So tomorrow night I wanna eat this, Friday night I wanna eat this. Organize your week with food as well, you know. Obviously, another good tip, and I think a lot of people do this, obviously, the gym. Now, I still remember when I used to go to the gym, there used to be this girl, like every time I used to go, and she was a law student, and she used to bring her books in the gym, her highlighter, and just study there while she was like on the bicycle thing and just doing exercise. And I was just like, I had a lot of exams too. I was a very strict person, but I used to have my breaks, you know, like a YouTube video, a movie, a walk. I used to go to the gym every day, like. And when I just see people that are like, yeah, like I can't go to the gym because I need to study, and then they just go out, like, you know, those people just annoy me. Like, you know, everyone goes to the gym. What are you gonna do? Study for 24 hours or what? Like, you know, gym just helped me. And I didn't go to the gym for like 5 hours. Maximum 1 hour, shower, go home, start studying again. But then after that, first that break was well needed for my body, because obviously I needed exercise, but my head, I just felt like, you know, I know that a lot of people don't like the gym, but especially in UCD, it used to be so good because there was a lot of classes as well, apart from the gym. So like yoga, Pilates, so whatever you did, like, and then a huge swimming pool where like a sauna, like a jacuzzi. It was just like 5-star hotel. So anything you needed to relax, it was in there. So it can be anything. You can go for a run, for a walk, you know, take a little break, go visit a friend. For me, it was the gym, just because I did love going to the gym. But do some exercise, because that will just help you concentrate more, you know. Another tip, I mean, I did like that sometimes, so it wasn't really my case with all my exams. Study with friends. So in UCD, in the library, you could like book these rooms, and like where a lot of people couldn't go in it. I mean, study with friends, yeah, it does work out. I prefer to study by myself. It's just the way I am. But it did help sometimes studying with friends, because like it does make you more relieved as well. Like, you know, you have a friend that she's in your course and you can share the same answers, help her out, she can help you out. You might know answer to something, she might know an answer to something else, and just help each other out. Now, by that I don't mean study together every day. I wouldn't be able to do that. But you know, I remember like before my exams, I always used to like study with friends, share the answers together, like see what she needed, what I needed. Now it's a bit different because everyone is doing college from home, so no one can study from friends. But let's say hypothetically you will be back in universities. That's a good tip. And obviously you can do it at home as well. Like, you know, you have a friend and just bring her and be like, listen, I need an answer to this. I used to do that with my friends as well. I need this answer, did you do this? Or like, did you do this essay? Like, you know, you can still text, FaceTime. Another tip, email your professor. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Don't be shy. When I was writing my thesis, dissertation, whatever you want to call it, do you know the amount of times I did email my professor? Like, professors, they can just be whatever. And I just hate that, because like, I mean, if you want to be a professor, that you want to do that profession, you also have to be a person that want to help other people, like, you know. And I had some professors that were just like, they didn't even look at emails. But a lot, 99.9, they would be so useful. Like email you back very fast, even on weekends, help you with anything, or just be like, come to, like, I had a lot of professors, like, you know, or after an exam or whatever, they just be like, come to my office this time, we'll make an appointment. I was never that person that, like, you know, used to like email like 45 times a day, and I know a lot of people do, and that's totally fine. But if I needed something very urgent, or I just need an information, email them. Like, you know, like, you're not gonna die, nothing is gonna happen, like, they're there for that. Another tip, go to review classes. So at the end of each term, at least that's in UCD, but I think that's everywhere, there's like this, every class there's like a review. So you go to this class and they basically review all the stuff that you did in that term. And that's so good, because me, I'm that person that did go to all our classes. I know a lot of people don't even go to classes. To be honest, yeah, classes sometimes are good. It depends, like, you know, it depends what exam you're doing. But some exams, everything is online, so you don't really need to lose your time and sit there. Like, especially in third year, I didn't go to all my classes because I knew everything was online. I would just use that hour to spend it in the library, and it was way better. But first 2 years, I always went to classes. But let's say, I don't know, I wasn't sure about a maths question or whatever, I would go to the review class, and they would just do everything from A to Z to help you out. Like, you know, especially if you're not sure about an exam, you're not sure if you're gonna pass it. And this leads me to the fact that in college, do you know the amount of people that fails an exam? Sometimes it's not even up to you. Like, I remember sometimes I used to study for exams, maybe it was totally different, it was totally hard, I never failed one, but so many people does. And like, by failing an exam, it doesn't mean that you're not a good student, you're not gonna get a job. Like, so many people like have such good jobs and they did fail an exam. Like, that doesn't mean that, like, you know, you're not smart or you're not organized or you didn't study enough. Sometimes life is just like that, you know. So like, don't beat yourself down. Go home, study more, redo the exam, and get the best grade. Like, be positive. But I used to be a positive person, you know. I was always like, there's a lot of people that, like, you know, and I would be one of those sometimes, you know, but literally gets upset and cries. And I do understand, because that's just your personality. But like, at the end of the day, you can fail an exam, cry how much you want, you need to redo it anyways. Be positive. Stuff like this happens in life. Everything can be perfect. Go home, restudy. Did you get a bad grade? Study more, do it more. Did you not like how your assignment went? do it better. Like, you know, we can all cry, and I did it as well, and all that kind of stuff. Put more effort, do more. Like, you know, college is a great experience, a lot of fun, a lot of memories. You know, it does teach you a lot of things, which one of them is to be organized. You know, like, you need to organize your life, because you will learn that after college things are even more messier. Like my life now, I need to organize everything. I have a job, I do YouTube, like there's so much stuff in my day. Like, you know, college it was just studying, but like after, when you go to work and you have your own house and all that kind of stuff, you need to be even more organized in college. So learning to be organized in college, learning to live by myself, it did help, because then everything was just so perfect after, like now, you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy hearing all my tips. Don't worry, I know now situation is a bit weird, everyone is home, but you can still use these tips at home. Even if you're home and you don't live by yourself, you can still plan your day. Okay, I live with my parents, but I can still get up early, I can still plan my lunch, I can still plan my dinner, I can still do exercise at home. Just because you're home, it doesn't mean you can't plan your day. That's gonna like motivate you more. Okay, I'm home, I feel a bit like but you know what, I'm still gonna plan my day, because I still need to do exams, I still need to do stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay positive, do your exams, life is gonna be great anyways, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.